All right, let's play with something here. So, in discussion today, there's the difference between intention and perception. So, let's just go very easy. From my point of view, my intention has always been to be a benevolent force in the world. So, basically, deep inside of me, I've always believed that I wanted to serve the world, to serve good in the world, whatever that means. We're just going to put this up here. So that would be my intention. So I've walked through my life, just imagine this, I've walked through my life with this benevolence or believing that I am that. And of course, there were times when there was humility that hit and realized that what my actions weren't what I thought it was going to be. But really what this is about is, where do you focus? Because a lot of people focus on their intention rather than the way that they're perceiving. So in this conversation today, we're talking about the person discovered that what they recognized was that they were focused on their intention. They were focused their awareness on their intention. But what they recognized was that their perception, the lens through which it was going through, was not in alignment. So you can believe yourself to be benevolent, but if your perception, if you're not putting it through the highest level of perception, which could be, and this was brought up in the conversation, what it could be is love. Love could be how you want to perceive the world. So let's kind of just back up a little bit and just look at this a little bit with somebody, let's say, that never does any work, that lives it completely caught up in their story. And we know these people. We know these people that are anchored in beliefs that are political. They are obviously not in alignment with love. But if you really sit down with these people, what they will come back to, wherever you take the conversation, it will always come back to their intent. Their intent was always to be a good person. So it could be somebody, let's say, that believes that like tough love is needed to be used in every situation. So they pride themselves on just saying whatever it is that they believe to be true, or, that this is good for everybody. Everybody just needs tough love in every moment. And they create their whole worldview through that intention. Their intention was benevolence, but their perception was that they believed that they were the hero by snapping in a moment every time, is to just tell straight truth to people, whatever that means, instead of, that every moment perhaps needs a different approach to each person. So it's another way kind of explore that. So the question would be, and this could be something to ponder, is when you look at what it is inside of you, because I know that intention is not, if intention were the basis on creation, then this world would be the prettiest world you could ever imagine, because I believe that more people want to be benevolent. They just don't know how to. That explains codependency. That explains how people give themselves away in a codependent relationship, or as a codependent. believing that they're the good person because they're the benevolent force, because their intention was to be the benevolent force. But how they were perceiving it was through what was the easiest for them. So if I give away my power to somebody else, that's what codependency is giving your power away to somebody else, then what I'm doing is I'm taking the benevolent position. And that's what the idea of psychology is about, is to look at it, is to look at each situation to see whether or not what needed to take place in that moment, was it that you needed to be humble and to allow that person, or is it a moment where you needed to speak up? That's the whole understanding of interdependency. That's there is going to be a give and a take in that. It's sometimes you're going to push a little more, and sometimes you're going to be more passive, and you're going to be the one that takes a steps back. But in codependency, that really brings up a big point, is that you believe yourself as a codependent. Let's see if we can get some more light on this. You believe yourself to be benevolent, and then you just assume that the filter that's going through and coming out into the world is clean, and it's helpful to everybody. And another way to just say this is, if I'm the victim, and if everybody were just a victim to, that's what codependency is really just saying I'm a victim to this situation. And if I give up, then I'm the one that's being nice. I'm being the good person. And so the question could be asked then in this case is, how much attention do we place on intention versus perception? Because what this person discovered for themselves, because they went into tears, they recognized the moment of trough and crest, meaning the low, the ickiness of the moment. They were in tears, but the elation, the crest, the trough and the crest at the same time. They felt the elation of something opening up, but they also found the humility, the humiliation from the recognition that they have been determining their life and the trajectory of their life through their intention, thinking that what comes out of, because they're a benevolent force, that no matter what comes out of them is going to be good. It is going to be the amazing things. And what they discovered was, and this is a harsh reality that we have to go through if we want to get into B, is we have to understand that our intention does not change the world. What changes the world is our perception. How do we perceive things? And in B, how do we perceive things? Well, we don't have a gatekeeper in B. We don't have a gatekeeper that says, this is good and this is bad. We know it because we are adjusted, we're calibrated to understand what's right or wrong in the moment. And that isn't coming from a place of predigestion. It is in the moment, acting in the moment is paradigm B. There is no theater. There is no scripting. It's being in the present moment, knowing that whatever came out of your mouth was the thing that was supposed to happen, and that's what you're working towards. So it's a really good question between the idea of intention and perception, the lens through which you see the world. And I've had tons of different lenses through which I see the world, but just an easy way to say that, if you're on a spiritual journey, you want to call it a spiritual journey, it doesn't matter. It's like literally all perception is whether it's how clean your lens is. Are you being brought in by an ideology, an idea, whatever else? Are you being, are things being masked? Are you making value judgments? Are you playing God's position? Or are you just representing whatever it is that you're supposed to be in this world? And that's what you are there to discover. And it's good stuff.